Hello viewers and welcome to a new episode of your program Good Morning Salone Discoveries with me, Konnah Sesay. Well, viewers, inside the studios today are there with three gentlemen. We come for talk about reasons we get for be with Mr. Clement in purpose of being in Sierra Leone and the just concluded press conference with them host. I will start with the gentlemen, where they're going to introduce themselves and we'll go in details about the program. Hello sir and welcome to this program. You go introduce yourself and tell me how you do for get connections with the foreigner we happen for be a businessman.
Good afternoon, Fambodem. Good afternoon, Salone. Then Bishop Kai James Manion of Jesus Ministry International Church.
Okay.
Some months ago, Mr. Clement also happened to be a pastor, come up from Dubai, and he came at the office with very deep stress, and you can see how down he been there. He explained to me, saying he came as a representative of Simchi investment trading company we based in Dubai for come buy gold.
Okay.
And he say, unfortunately, he for done some cartel or fraudsters them and where they dupe about $300,000.
All right.
As Siam said, this kind of a thing not good, especially for an emerging economy as ours. So I tell us straight say, you not going to go back home. This will forfeit them. Tooth and hook, I go there with you. I take him to Mr. John Kenneth Alpha, where I've been the then head of CID. And he give me such an impression, say, oh, this will go under them quick. Wait till happen for them. We keep going and we'll not see better they come out. So I'll go with them to Mr. AIG Brahmaja, where the man will not take nonsense at all. Straight away, Mr. Brahmaja assigned some people there for help with. And I want for commend, I want for let family they know, I want for let the government know, I want for let Sierra Leoneans they know that inside police, although we're not impressed with most of them as CID, but Mr. Brahmaja, he do a very good job for me.
Okay.
And so he also helped me say, this will not need for go FIU. We go FIU, and FIU, you know, they were on top of things for me. They ensure say, they request for the report from CID. Can you believe some of them, they omit some of the reports, then change certain things then from the report?
Okay, we go come in details about the report, but then let we come over to the next guest. We happen for be the foreigner we come na salon. Make him introduce himself and tell we what in a reason for come na salon and waiting so far get for tell fumble them, but in reasons within na salon. Hello sir and welcome to the program.
Hello and thank you for having me.
Okay.
I am Clement, a native Cameroonian based in Dubai, and I represent Simchi General Trading based in Dubai as well. And we came here for an investment, which unfortunately, with the help of an NMA staff, we were defrauded a sum of close to $300,000.
All right. You please give us a brief background about how you came to know these people.
Well, we came to know them through one of our South African partners by name Chris Manion, who told us these people were trustworthy and reliable people. And since we know him to be trustworthy and reliable, we thought if it's coming from him, it should be good.
Okay.
So we engage Zoom conversations with these people. We made some preambles, we agreed on what has to be done, what had to be done. So we came to Sierra Leone the first time on the 17th of January 2021 to materialize the paperwork that was said or that was done. Once in Sierra Leone, we came in contact with an NMA staff by name Daniel Seri Capri, who was, I think, the NMA supervisor at the airport. And we explained to him why we were here. and how we needed his help, because he being an enemy staff, the National Mining Agency staff, was the best person to help us. In fact, we saw it in those days as a blessing, because we've come to the right person who will who will help us in the due diligence process.
All right, you're saying that by then you saw it as a blessing,
Yes.
knowing that you've come to meet the right person.
Yes.
But then, how assured were you? What prompted your assurance that this person that you just met is actually someone working for enemy?
As I told you, we met him in his office. We didn't just meet him in the street. And as I speak to you at the moment, I've met the Minister of Mine, I've met the Director of Mines, and both have agreed that he is a staff of NMA. So there is no ambiguity, no doubt about the fact that he's an enemy staff. But in those days, he also showed us his card, enemy card. And just to repeat myself, we met him in his government office inside Lungi Airport. So at that level, I don't think there is any iota of doubt that he's a government worker.
All right. So what exactly was the purpose behind the business transaction, and how was it meant to benefit Sierra Leone at large?
It was a business transaction worth close to $2 million US dollars. And just to say it in simple ways, it benefits the whole population when there is an inflow of foreign currencies into your economy. It fights inflation, it brings jobs, there is cash flow in the economy, and the 1,000 other economic benefits that can bring.
Okay.
So generally, the individuals who receive the money directly may be the first beneficiaries, but the economy is boosted because our transactions were done through the bank. For every withdrawal, every transaction, there are charges.
So how legal was this business transaction?
How legal was this transaction? Number one, we had a contract. We had a contract signed. Number two, we are legal. I will give you a copy of our trade license. Number three, the monies that we gave them initially were for government taxes, which the enemy staff will tell us in the system it's reflecting. It's reflecting we've paid the government taxes. So that's how legalistic we were willing to be, and we are still willing to be, and we will always, because we are clean people. We do clean business only. So how legal was the business? Number one, we are legal, we have our license. Number two, when we entered Sierra Leone, we did our NRA declaration. We declared every money we had. We have the documents, we will submit them to you. Number three, the monies that were paid to these individuals were through bank transfers. And you know, illegal transactions are not done that way. Number four, the monies that were given to them in cash were for government taxes. Okay. So from all indications, from all angles, everything we seek to do was legal.
Okay. So what types of goods are, actually embedded in these transactions? And also, you tell people, let them know, so far, when exactly was the point in time that you realized that something was wrong somewhere?
Well, the type of goods, I hope I heard your question right,
Yeah.
was gold, precious metal, gold. And throughout the process, we had our doubts. That's why we took videos. We have every form of evidences because we had some little doubts with our experience. But the fact that we had an enemy staff telling us this is right, this is okay, you have nothing to worry about. All this is perfectly under control.
And you've been with him in his office, in the enemy's
yes.
office.
So that we gave it a benefit of doubt. But at a certain point, we've done almost or literally everything they demanded of us, and yet we could not see what they promised happening. Okay. So we decided to go deeper in our investigations or in our due diligence, because initially we relied on the enemy. Later, when we realized that what the promise wasn't showing up, we decided to go a little further. That's when we realized that these people were scammers.
Okay.
Just that their scamming was looking clean because they have the accreditation of an enemy staff.
Okay. All right. Let's come over to another guest in the program who happens to be Mr. Emond Abu. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You will please tell us, what are your connection with Mr. Clement?
Well, of course, course, we all know, first living in civil society, because we do economic justice. I work for Native Consulting Research Center.
Okay.
And then we do economic justice. Economic justice. You say for just something we get for be just about your money business, about your livelihood, about the bread and butter. You know. And then secondly, I also don't be a consultant. I get a consulting firm.
Okay.
Then I also do put an audit firm apart from. So me a consultant. I do corporate consultancy for. So I get for Kano this fine gentleman who is another friend, Mr. Harding. We they are Mom Darlington Harding, of course, then of course to Bishop. So on the way, because of the police not be to do their work, na me do they tell them themselves kind side.
The police they not be they do their
Yes,
work.
as I just like hearing from waiting Bishop Manion just say 1 minute in terms of the delay and whatever. So we can side.
Okay.
We get records them on the access to justice system.
Okay.
You know, of course, we all know we don't know that come in my court. So we do still for access to justice. You understand? So I don't kind side.
All right.
So I become very, very interested because firstly I cannot say the man in question, a man with a very, very genuine person.
Okay.
Mr. Clement, we just talked to, you know, and I like his spirit. So and over and above all, me contact be on blackmail. We I don't think say anybody will go to bed, you know, understand for that. We continue on blackmail them. We need job. We always cry for job. Like we do economic justice. Government, we need job. We need foreign direct investment. So if you get that foreign direct investment, with some money they will available, it's not just test the one can test. Then they knock the number by $300,000. I'm not think anybody before. And the people that will do this thing, they get records the FIU. So now they advise the media. When I go to FIU, when I go ask for the people there, so we don't do your part. So when I do your investigation, then name your local. The FIU will tell us say they wire and as scammers they get. So we want this one to be a deterrent. One for letting reach the water because they spoil the name of the country.
Okay.
So then one of the reasons we make like me and Bishop, which make really interested in this thing. And for that we also encourage the investor for let them come. Because you know go see because for this and Konnah rebel. So therefore Sierra Leone and rebel. Not to everybody, Sierra Leone is a good place. You understand? And in fact we talk about scammers themselves, we get very few scammers compared to other countries. We need to support the scammers. But that now. So the other point where like native consultants what they into this, we also want for like let the ACC let the take this thing seriously. Because now, like when I hear from the testimony, they don't really bail them. Why they bail them, how they bail them, the media needs to ask the ACC now. Waiting at the condition or waiting at the updates. Now they don't admit say yes, this money can Zenith Bank, it can so they don't the two people in the two big scammers. You understand? But now they for stop. So we the guys in fact now we work start. Because we go for put ACC now, let people explain. And we go for the continuously they ask them, waiting they have because for Clement and the partners them, maybe they will just be interested in the money. And then but we know me and Bishop we're not interested in that. We want to clean the image, you understand? We want to make sure to do image branding and then you get justice and then name and shame those people.
Okay.
Therefore we brought to book and therefore face the music.
Alright. Mr. Clement, when you realized that these people were actually fraudsters, what were the steps that you took?
Well, initially, I as a foreigner I must admit I was frustrated and in doubt. So I came by the special grace of God in contact with somebody who is today a father to me, Bishop Kaimanye of G's ministry. Him and his entire church, G's ministry, they took me in. They gave me a place of choice among them, treated me well. The first and foremost, they made sure I was safe. I will not say what he did for that, but he placed everything at my disposal for me to be comfortable, to be safe, and for me to breathe, and for me to see things right before any other thing. Secondly, he brought me to the police. He brought me to CID. That was the first step.
Okay.
the first move. He held my hand, drove a car. We went to CID headquarters. We met the head of CID. As he initially said, the people gave us a lot of hope, and it was quite good. But unfortunately, the hope led to nothing, because from my personal impression, they were actually not willing to do their job, or they were just unprofessional. Because the numbers they gave, the account numbers they submitted to FIU were all wrong. Number two, we handed them over 18 mobile numbers. They did. I don't know what happened. I believe they struck it. Even with my own mobile, I can do some of these things. So I don't want to believe that police could not do that. Number three, we arrested some people from the airport. The guy who received us, we arrested the housekeeper of the offices. The people who rented the house, they said, Mr. Said, the office was rented through a certain lawyer, Said Sesay, and many things, but no lead or no follow-up on the lead, nothing. For 2, 3, 4 months, dead ends. So frustrated, again him, but this time I had met, in the middle of the process, I had met a certain Mr. Darlington Harding, who had brought me to Emond Abu Native Consortium because he knew that I was in pain and I needed to be encouraged. I needed hope. So Emond Abu and his team will bring a lot of hope to us, to me and my people. Yes. So those are some of the initial steps. Then from there, we, through the recommendation of one FIU staff, and permit me to say that FIU is a government institution that needs to be advertised.
Okay.
We have good people there doing a good job. When an investor comes, FIU should be the one to, they should pay a visit to FIU before doing any business, because FIU have track records of most of these companies, if not all. So nobody can best tell the track record of companies than FIU. But FIU, we never knew about FIU until we got frustrated at the police. Yet meanwhile, if FIU was well advertised, I want to believe that we should have gone there. Notwithstanding.
Right, so you should, or you would have gone to FIU instead of going to the police?
Instead of relying on the NMA staff for due diligence. So that should have been the guide for any potential investor. So
are you trying to say that the FIU are doing the job of the police?
I want to say that the FIU are doing their job very well.
Okay.
But unfortunately, they don't have the resources and the legality of the police. It's not legal for them to arrest. Do you get my point?
I understand.
Yes, so from FIU, they did what they had to do, and a certain Victor Moyo, the manager of analysis and something at FIU, he recommended AIG Brahmaja, and I spoke with him. He also recommended AIG Brahmaja. So he brought me to AIG Brahmaja. Brahmaja, very furious after hearing our story. He was very furious, very angry. He felt a pain. He consoled us, and he assured us that these individuals at the police are not representing the best of the police. So he insisted that our file be transferred to him, which he will assign to a special unit called the SIB at the CID, headed by, I think, Fuller, Sergeant Fuller, or I don't know if he's a surgeon, but these guys were good guys. They helped. With them, we were able to arrest some of the guys. Then later, our matter was transferred with the help of somebody who is also like an elder brother to me in the country here today, Ambassador Sinesi Jani Tawarali, popularly known as London Jet. He also helped us a lot. He's been with me. He's been holding my hand also alongside. He brought us to ACC. And I must admit that at ACC, we felt like, okay, this was the right place to be. So since our case has been at ACC, we've seen a lot of progress. We must commend Francis Ben Kaifala. And I also would like to say ACC people should be advertised, because the job they do, we don't know it, we foreigners. And we are the people bringing in investment, or we are amongst the people bringing in investment. We should know that when we come to the country, we can go to ACC first. ACC can protect us. When people see ACC with us and they don't have genuine intention, they will. So we really appreciate what Ben Kaifala and his team are doing. At the moment as we speak, the people they've been released on bail. And last week only I met the commissioner of ACC Ben Kaifala, and they've taken major steps for us to recoup our money back. And we are hoping that one of these days that will be done. But at the moment, as we speak, we are still waiting.
Okay. Over to you, Bishop. You know, you not a Sierra Leonean, and when somebody comes along, when he gets issues of fraud or whatsoever criminal issues, the first place he can think about now for go to police. And having Mr. Clement here talking about commending the ACC and the FIU, but then recommending the police, you know, what can you get for say as a Sierra Leonean?
I think they in agreement with what they say 100%. Because not to say they say I did it. In fact, I make no police. I make say let we go. I know the head of CID will help you with this.
Okay.
We knock on the door. At the end of the day, I feel ashamed. The reason is when people like Mr. Chi and others come, now we call to, let them feel welcome, let them feel protected. And the place of protection, the work of the police.
Okay.
But for Sesay, they not do nothing. You know, it's everybody's guess why they not do it. But again, we tell God thank you for singularly Mr. AIG Brahmajan, where I say to Mr. Chi, I know this man, I know him track record, let me go meet him. And he stood there for the police, he do something where I want to let the whole country know that now then kind of police we they talk about.
Okay.
And for the FIU, these are people where then openly put everything and say, you see, this person, they get another track record, they get this record.
Then they be transparent.
They were very transparent.
Okay.
And same way so, Ben Kefala, when a no nonsense taker, he plunged him, man them into action. And now they will begin to see. With also Mr. Emond Abu, where he did young way, foot to foot, for make sure say as an activist, for make sure say justice prevail. And that Sierra Leone, a name where we all defend for. Some of you don't live abroad for many years. And we see how other people then they play the game. You know, if development for come, people when they come with their couple for invest, let them feel secure.
Okay.
And I think that is the message from the president. And that for and good governance.
Okay, Mr. Emond Abu, you as somebody where they work as a civil society activist, you know, where somebody they come up from another country for can invest in Sierra Leone, you know, they only be for the person but for the betterment of the country at large. And if such an incident they happen, what do you feel they need for be done?
Well, I think say we state apparatus, we state institution need to be serious.
Okay.
And for instance, like in this case, is Daniel Say, where they part of the conspiracy, I disgrace to Sierra Leone, I disgrace to a generation, because now he sell out this whole thing. So firstly, we go for pick who that then for be civil servant. Also, not you. Now they say in any head na Lunge Airport.
Okay.
So you could imagine if they in conspiracy, then cause scammers, there are almost people they go to help scam. That number one we for the think of. So we go for the no Uda and Udat then. For the say Uda wire now we directors and there wire now we staff then there wire now government agencies then. Because when one stand they fail, then the society is so far. Because now then corrupt, now then they divide. And that this don't keep Africa all throughout. Because people no longer with state institutions and with duty bearers, people always say, oh, these are our state men. Then they represent together. It's all about their own interests, what they get, what they want. You understand? For their own selfishness. So when you look at this whole thing about that, so we get for, remember could they tell the President Bill, like I always know, I always say, I don't say the President knew well, but I always say there are people around the President. There are people around within where these are bad eggs. And not to Salone maybe. Almost every other country we go, you understand? You get any kind of bad people there, so when they smear. But we know for encouraging because number one, a small country, number two, we need urgent foreign direct investments. Like I said also, at the trust God, by the special grace of God, say, I would like for the clemency and investor, let them help for the capitalized Sierra Leone for the start.
Okay.
Well, the whole country know me what they play in the telecoms industry. The whole country also know which are the play and more icon, the petrol of the downstream sector. That sector they the big one. Yesterday from the meetings then, I mean we need about 400,000 metric ton. Government not get that kind of money. Even for no allocations, it be difficult. So if we get an investor with a PPP, you understand? Like they were where they own they don't get that debt distressed conditionalities. Then these are the people they encourage. Okay. So like they of fellow treat them like small god. Say, well, this is not God sent. You understand? Okay. Because I know I don't interact with them. Then so over time I don't interact with so many big powers. Okay. Go to the IMF, the World Bank, Washington, go to Canada. I see the conditions then. So these are the kind of people we meet for the pray God for that will get them. And when they pray say God will continue to touch Clement and invest to their heart. And me they assure them, say Sierra Leone, we are beautiful people. Okay. Not all of us are criminals. You understand? We just get very few, like any other country. We know we dent that country. So we will continue. That's why we want it to be public. Want it to be public. So I mean they will know and that nobody's hiding nothing here. Because our credibility, our integrity, the soul of the nation is in the line. And we want to deconstruct that kind of blackmail and tell the investors, and if they are hearing us, we want to tell them that Sierra Leone is a beautiful place. In fact, Sierra Leone is one of the beautiful places for foreigners. Anybody that comes here, you see, they are thriving, businesses are thriving. So we need we need more job creation. Okay. You understand? We need more FDI, at least for boom the economy. At least that will make way with life, because I've been a poverty reduction campaigner for 25 years from my youth. Wow. So like I say, I don't be a poverty reduction campaigner for right throughout my life. Okay. My life on this planet. Okay. So, and also when you talk about with humility, I don't win international awards in Washington and East Africa. We talk about economic justice because my background of finance and economics, then I'm a background academically. And so I think I better inform what's a genuine investor, what's somebody who mean well. Okay. You understand? Yeah. Because I don't interface a lot. So now it make they say, firstly I want to tell this network thank you for this privilege we gonna give Clement. Okay. You understand? And we will continue for the camp now, and this now everybody's business. Salone for develop, salone for change. And we need to put a stop. Then people have to miss the water alone. This business as usual should not continue. So now make us still they continue. Which I will advise Sierra Network. When I meet the ACC and ask them these tough questions. Okay. The reason why, on those reason, and why the people are so there for gain and they get assets there. So if they fall on the asset, they want to sell their house there because these are the things they will only for accident. Secondly, going forward, you understand, these are the things the way we be waiting, because we don't want any we don't want to see any kind of sacred cow, any holy goats, because there are people who are holy goats in the economy. They are untouchable. And in this case, at the vow, say this particular case, we won't have any holy goat or any secret cow or secret cat. Nobody, everybody is equal before the law. If you fall foul, you're a fraudster, we will make sure so for name and shame you, and make sure say nobody not for protect nobody, and there should be no preferential treatment. ACC should treat this issue with the utmost seriousness. Now make me identify for them this thing to the right to and to the last. All right. So basically that's our position as native consortium. Okay, Mr. Clement, you happen to be someone who wants to do business with people who claim to be licensed people who have the right to transfer diamonds or gold to another country to export them, you know, and you coming to Sierra Leone and wanting to do this business, did you ever have it in mind that you should go to the Ministry of Mines and try to have a word with the minister in regards to that?
Well, as I told you, we came for a trial transaction.
Okay.
And personally, entity personae, I went to the ministry in those days. And they gave me a big paper to read and to do this. And they recommended NMA. We having already an NMA agent, that comforted me. That it means that the NMA have the ultimate power in this domain. So that part of the job was well done.
Okay.
Just to give you a very direct answer.
All right. So presently, what's the status of the case?
Presently, the case is at ACC. And my impressions about ACC are very good.
Okay.
Just last Thursday, I was in Mr. Ben Kaifala's office, who assured me and gave me the outline of what they are doing now to bring back our money.
Okay.
So we are just hoping that this will actually bring back the money. But that's the present status.
Okay, you're hoping that this will bring back your money. But then, do you have interest in doing business, in still doing business in Sierra Leone?
Well, if this brings back our money, what you should know is that we are not bringing back, we don't move cash like that. We will rather do other things. We've had some business discussions with Bishop, who made amazing proposals. Emond Abu has been bringing me to some places, good opportunities around the place. Once justice is served, we feel more secure having people like this now. So we are grateful to people like FIU, the director there, Mr. David Bobo, Victor Moyo. We are grateful to people like Bishop and GIS Ministry who've been standing. We are grateful to people like Native Consortium and Emond Abu as an individual. We are grateful to people like Ambassador Jani Senesi Tawarali, commonly known as London Jet. We are grateful to patriots like that who are doing everything to clean up the image, and with them around us we feel secured. So once justice is served, once we know that justice can be served or is served, we have no reason to step back. We will be further encouraged to carry on with the project we actually came to do.
Okay. So finally, what is your expectations?
My expectation, number one, is that we will recoup our money. Whatever belongs to us will be given back to us in its totality, because we have evidence for that.
Okay.
Number two, my expectation is that the president came to Dubai in 2019 because we investors, we follow signals. He came and he encouraged investors to come to Freetown, to Sierra Leone. His Excellency President Bio, President Mada Bio, he came to Dubai and we followed the signal he gave. So if we are coming here, we should be treated well. Okay. We should be protected. So in that respect, my expectation is that people should not dishonor the president's promises. Because if the president is coming to bring us in and people are chasing us out, it's not a blessing to anybody. And this time I speak as a Pan-Africanist. I don't just speak as an investor. I am among those who believe in the African dream. I am among those who do everything to bring investment back home, back to Africa. I'm a Cameroonian, but I feel home here as long as I'm in Africa. So I believe that we, the Sierra Leonean people, that's my expectation at the same time, should come together to fight these people. And that's why I really commend people like the Bishop and Abu Emond, who are taking the matter very personal without any expectations, because it's about the country. So my expectation is that every Sierra Leonean should take this fight, and for that I hope you, the media, will be able to relay this message. Let the Sierra Leonean in the nooks and the crannies know that when we bring investment, it's for their benefit, more than the president. Okay. So they have to protect us. They have to do everything to work, because the battle is not just ACC. Today we appreciate ACC, but they are not the only ones to fight this battle. They don't have the monopoly of information. They need the Sierra Leonean people to collaborate, to cooperate, so that justice can be served.
All right.
So those are my expectations.
Okay, thank you for joining us in the program, Mr. Mane, Bishop Mane. Finally, you don't meet with Mr. Clement, who that you believe for be a genuine businessman, and such an incident don't happen to him. What do you expect from the ACC and from the police when next such issue come up?
Well, I expect a proactive measures for bring them criminals, fraudsters, scammers that will tarnish the name of Sierra Leone, for bring them to the book,
Okay.
for bring them to justice. Because if we not see this fate as a fate where every Sierra Leonean is needed on board, future generations, they not get hope.
Okay.
The country we go dark and blink. And because personally, Mr. I privilege for talk to some of the investors, like then tell me say they get a package of $4 billion for investment in this country, but then they watch you and see. And so this is also a call for the office of the president and as well as ACC wanna expedite justice on behalf of this man. Let it recoup him money, and we believe say the best is yet to come.
All right.
I also want to make this loud and clear. I'm not to do this, Mr. Emond Abu also not to do this for personal gain. We just know say we na Sierra Leoneans, this role they play, we write, and for una the press, una for publicize this thing to the entire nation, for let them know say everybody need for come on board, for fight the criminals, for let this thing stop. Sierra Leone a paradise. If we socio-economically try for play we own parts. Thank you.
All right, thank you for where you joined me at the program today. Over to you, Mr. Emond Abu. What will be your final word where you go left for viewers them as a civil society activist about your expectations from the ACC and the FIU?
Well, I think we not say all things. We don't need any holy goods. We don't need any secret cat or secret cow. We trust the ACC will do the needful. And then, of course, we they continue for name and shame the culprits, the one the way they run on this for quite some time. And then, of course, if you didn't police, you will do anything for cover up with the name and shame also.
Okay.
That you are not a patriotic person. And like as Bishop say, this is not about our countries on the blackmail. These guys will come and go. And what about the pressure? Now, if you don't treat Clement, what will Clement go and say? Or what will the investors tell? I mean the others, that oh, that country is like this. So that blackmail we country the power of deconstruct that kind of bad image where we don't get. That's why we're here. That's why we're press.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not just about naming and shame, but we want to tell for rebrand, and because Sierra Leone, like we keep saying, it's a beautiful place, and we hope say once more I want to tell the network thank you.
Okay.
On a prompt notice on a cover program, I want to feel elated. Let God bless you and we hope and pray say Salone go better for we all.
All right, you're mostly welcome, and thank you also for where you joined with in the program. Well, viewers, Naya, today we go draw the curtain down for the program Good Morning Salone Discoveries. Don't forget to subscribe so that you self could get we recent programs then where they come up now the Salone Morning Discoveries. Me we bring the program can't you today. My name is Konnah Sesay. Until we meet again, till next time. Tata.